Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 164 of Sold with Updike Pugh.
I'm Jeff Updike.
I'm Weston Pugh, and we have a great show today. We're going to talk about a townhome that is in Magnolia Court in Victory Park, which is amazing, right at the base of Katy Trail, American Airlines. And the second one is over off of Hillcrest in Preston Hollow area, and it is an amazing renovated one-story ranch that really blew our socks off.
And in our second segment today, we're going to talk, we're titling it Out and About in Real Estate today, but it's really about kind of some bigger ticket things that are going on in the marketplace and how our real estate market is just expanding.
It is interesting to see what's happening here in Dallas. It is never a dull moment. This has been a very interesting week. It seems like we have a lot more people interested in purchasing Airbnbs, and I think you and I have really started moving numbers around and trying to figure out if that's something that our company is going to do as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a growing market in the single family home market, and it certainly can be profitable if you've got the right product in the right location, and it's just managed well.
In my head, I'm trying to flesh out what is driving the everybody going towards these. Is it something that's a flash in the pan, or is it, pandemic driven, or is it just a shift in the way people travel and the way people maybe want privacy, affordability? I don't know. There's a couple of things I just feel like I need to write it down and make sense of the pros and the cons on this.
Well, I've had one at my house for several years, and I guess I enjoy the hospitality end of it. I enjoy meeting the people that I want to meet. It is really more of a hobby for me than it is like income generator, but I enjoy it. I enjoy doing it.
And you also have a really good group of clients that rebook time and time again.
Yeah,
which is completely different.
It is. I've got people that come back for market, and that they'll come 6-7 times a year, and
it's pretty great. Yeah. Well, this is an interesting weekend as well. For the first time ever, I went down and hung out with my brother Wyatt down in East Texas, and he's got a really great group of friends, and they have a generational group that gets together and they process hogs. And it was very interesting to see it go all the way through the process. And it was really neat to be able to hang out with these guys. They've been doing it so long that they have all of the equipment that just makes it so much easier. I do not know how anybody did that before the modernization and mechanics.
And do not Google process hogs. If you don't know what that is, I'll just summarize and say it's how your bacon ends up in the package.
Literally, I was making the bacon this weekend.
You were making the bacon.
I was making the bacon this weekend. And if you want to see the pictures, I have a really good group of from start to finish. It was pretty amazing. Really good learning experience. I jokingly told the guys, I said, you start a dude ranch and charge $750 a person. And they said, we enjoy this because we don't have to do this as work. It would really kind of ruin it if we had to do it over and over again.
Yeah, or entertain a bunch of city yahoos.
It would be different, but it was fun. It was a good time. Yeah. I learned a lot, saw some interesting stuff. And I have to say that the end product is amazing. Got some great link sausage. Breakfast sausage is what Wyatt called it. And then they have a tenderizer, and you run the pork chops through 2 different directions. And so it makes a grid pattern, and it allows for more of the cornmeal to get in there and the flour. And last night I fried up the pork chops. They were so good. Yeah. I'm so proud of myself.
Well, I did the city stuff this weekend. I just had a small group of friends that I got together with on Friday. Had a small group of friends that I got together with on Saturday. Had a small group of friends that I had over for dinner on Sunday night. And I made people, my friends are making fun of me because I'm I'm a TikToker now. I don't make TikToks. I just like watching them, but I really like watching people cook food. And I have watched enough that now I can tell whether somebody's really, like if they're doing it to show how to cook something well, or if they're doing it to show their personality.
Yeah.
And there's a guy that goes, I think his handle's like Turtle Creek Foodie, that's here in Dallas. And I can't tell you what the guy looks like because he never really shows himself on camera, but the man is a cook. And so Sunday night I made his meatloaf, and it was by far the best meatloaf that I've ever made.
Well, if Turtle Creek Foodie is out there listening, let's make some food.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
It was good. So,
all right, let's talk about the Market Watch, Jeff.
Let's talk about Market Watch.
Because this is interesting. We're in this very weird holding pattern right now of January. And as the numbers will tell you, we look at new listings, and this week versus last week, it's up 2%, which is not much, but hey, it's up. And you look back on the market, now that really shot up. And so I think that we've got people who, went through and decided this wasn't quite the house for me, and price decreases. That was flat.
Yes, it was. Now, also included in that back on market are people that may have taken their homes off the market for, 25 or 30 days through Christmas. So those are not just contracts falling out, which I think we have kind of focused on before, but there's other pieces that come into that. And I think that's what influenced that so much this time.
And you know what? You're right, because this is the time when people are ready to come back on. Martin Luther King is over. Everyone's serious, and we're bringing them back under. And if you look at under contract option period, that only rose 1% as well.
Pendings were up about 6%. Sold listings were up about 7% from the week before. In the next couple of weeks, we'll see that bump up again just because we get to the end of the month. Coming soons are up about 6% week over week too, which is always a good thing.
Right. So good information. It's in the right direction. Do we need more? Of course we need more. So stay tuned, and we'll get that going for everybody.
Absolutely.
So the first house that we're going to talk about is that townhome that is in Trinity or Victory Park, and it is 2971 Magnolia Hill Court, and this is a spectacular place. Jeff, you were talking about as we were going there, you remember it being built.
Oh yeah. This is probably one of my favorite complexes in all of Dallas. And I just think this has such really, cool vibe to it. These townhomes these were built before Victory Park was really Victory Park.
Oh yeah.
It is the first development that happened in that area. There was still the power station there. There were still the train tracks that ran through Victory Park.
Was American Airlines Center there yet?
No, none of that.
None
that
of it was there.
Where American Airlines Center was an old abandoned power plant.
God.
Yeah, with the big smokestacks and just really cool. So
Talking about being a pioneer.
yes, these were developed by a man named Bennett Miller, who is one of the granddaddies of development in undeveloped urban areas. He developed a lot of stuff in the Cedars down by where you used to live.
Eckerd.
He had done some in West Dallas. He did this development. And when he did this development, they were asking $300,000 and something for these townhomes. And realtors were blown away that someone would take this kind of risk and build these over there. But it's on
What a risk it was worth.
What a risk it was. It is such a great location there. You can walk to all the events at American Airlines Center. American Airlines Center, I used to know the manager of American Airlines Center, and it was crazy some of the stories that he would tell about how they would take it from a Stars game one night to a basketball game the next night, and then they might have a concert the next night, and the changeover that had to occur. Man, they got that down.
And Mark Cuban is a great steward for Dallas.
He really is.
He's done a great job. One of the other things that's in this area is going to be the Pro Nature and Science. And that is an amazing space. If you haven't been there, it's really a great place. I know that back in the day when it first started, Thursday night was adult night, and you could go in there. I think they had drinks, and you could really just get a flavor for it. I've taken niece and nephews there. It is definitely worth a go.
It is. Not far from there is the Nasher Sculpture Center, which is easy to walk to when you get over into the Arts District. We've had several events there. We've done photography there.
Yeah.
One of Weston's favorite artists did an installation there, Dan Lamb.
Yes.
Did that amazing installation there.
Oh, and they have Harry Bertoia there right now.
Yeah, that's going. We need to go to see that. So
Definitely need to see that. And then what's the restaurant?
restaurant, local tap and table is right there. That is a great place to go to just kick back and have a beer, hang out and have dinner, pop in for lunch. And one of our favorite places for lunch is also the Katy Trail Ice House.
You gotta love the Katy Trail Ice House. It is one of Uptown's classics, often replicated, never duplicated. Is that how that goes? Anyway,
Okay.
one of the other things too that's really great about this is the breakfast tacos. If you're
Often imitated, never duplicated.
thank you, Jeff. Get it right. So the other thing about this is it is
Weston filter on
Put your
there.
Weston filter on it. This is also a great place. On Saturday mornings when you walk, they have a little area set up and they do breakfast tacos, which are amazing. The hamburger there is great, salads are great, and the beer is always ice cold. And they have figured out the delivery system, so you order and you get really quickly.
And the Katy Trail comes off right at the base of where these townhomes are. And so the city of Dallas 3 months ago approved this $2.3 million trail connector that now will take the bottom of the Katy Trail over under I-35 and connect to the Trinity Strand Trail over there, which gets you into, you know, all of the like the Margaret Hunt Hill Bridge and the Ron Kirk Bridge and all of those trails that are right there surrounding the Trinity. It's going to have amazing access in the next 2 years.
Yep. So, and let's talk about the actual property. So
Okay.
again, 2971 Magnolia Hill Court. This is an amazing 3-story, beautiful views on the inside. Great use of a classic material. So it's not one of those ones that's going to age as we see some of that construction happening now. When you come in downstairs, as you're going to see throughout, art is a main theme that is the backdrop for this house. It is the perfect orientation to allow it to show itself. Downstairs bedroom has a wonderful view of the backyard, small little set-in table, solid. It has ceramic tiles as well downstairs.
When you access out into the backyard, you've got this multi-layered yard that they created with corten and grass, and it's really just a wonderful outdoor space to go out and hang out in.
It almost feels like a park to me because they've done such a good job with the way that they've had an architect design the landscaping. There is lighting at the base of these trees that also adds another element. And one of the things I do like is that you can connect the second floor to this actual outdoor park-like space is what I call it.
Now, as you come up to the second floor, this is your living area that looks out toward downtown. And I love the 2-story open effect that you get in the living room there. You've got probably 20-foot ceiling in that section of it.
And I can't figure out how. It's got to be the way that the second floor is laid and that it's wood, as you can see. But the acoustics in this is amazing. A lot of times what happens in these larger, spacious condos is that the acoustics go off the rail. While we were there, there was another couple that was previewing this home and the agent, and it did not sound like there was, 8 people in here. Wonderful flow as it transitions to this dining room and kitchen area. And as you can see, they've taken a really good shot here to show you the entire space.
And this is the dining area that has that access down. One of the things I really love about this place is you see the exposed beams. And as Weston said, the current owner really has an eye for art because even just getting the wood letters and kind of hiding them up there on that beam really just adds a nice little touch to it.
And in spaces like this, it's really important for the kitchen to be functional, but it also has to be set right. And they've done a really good job with it blending in as in white. The higher end appliances they've used are Bosch and Decor, which are really great. And as you can see here, they've also hidden the exhaust vent. So that just looks like cabinets. And these are ways to make a higher end kitchen very, very minimal and clean. And they've done a great job with that.
They also have this informal seating area that's over in the living room. And again, you can see the art this owner uses. And the thing that I keep thinking about in the art is they show off how well they could use it. Other people have so much space and there's so much room for creativity in this.
Absolutely. Second floor is this, and this is basically living room, a little game area, a desk area, and the master bedroom is on this third floor. but it could really be configured so that it is just for a master suite, the entire area. Again, we have really great ceilings. They did not put up pony walls. They used an iron railing to allow your eye to pitch back and forth. And here we step into a really well organized, I keep saying this because it was so well thought out. This is the master bedroom. And as you can see here, to make use of this space, they did shelving all the way up. And on the bottom shelf, it actually protrudes just a hair and kind of acts as your nightstand. So no additional furniture, plus the sconces. The sconces are actual variable height and location, so they're great.
And in the bathroom, you've got double sink vanities with the vessel sinks. One of Weston's favorite is where they have the plumbing that comes directly out of the wall. Sculpture tub, privacy wall there for the commode. That also on the right-hand side of that is the big walk-in shower.
So this is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. It was built in 1996. Almost 2,400 square feet, and it comes at 1.2 million, which is 503 a square foot. This is an amazing home. So what we do is in the comments, we're going to provide you a link, and that link is going to take you directly to it. You can see some of the photos that we didn't use. You can scroll in and expand that map and get an idea of where everything is, how you can get to and from. But if you'd like to take and get a showing of this, let us know, and we'd be happy to make that happen.
We would, and we want to say thank you to Emily Ray Porter for letting us talk about her home today.
Amazing. So we're going to shift gears now. We're going to pick ourselves up. We're going to head a little bit further. If I say North Dallas, everybody's like, it ain't North Dallas. All right, so just head north on 75. And we'll end up get on Hillcrest.
This is between the tollway and 75. It's Preston Hollow-ish.
Adjacent. All right. So what's the address on this one?
So the address on this one's 6918 Waggoner Drive. And this is one of those really cool 1970s single-story ranch homes that is located really just kind of in the heart of everything.
It is. It is easy to get up. Just before the show, Jeff was showing me how to turn on my Do Not Disturb feature. Guess he forgot to take and turn his
Sorry.
off. So it's
I could answer it.
Your mom's calling. So it's a great area of Dallas.
True.
Lots of good private schools, grocery stores, whether it's Central Market, Whole Foods, Sprouts. All of these elements are in this area to make life super easy. Plus, it's an easy, quick kick over to White Rock Lake. But some of the other things that we like are White Rock Creek Trail. And these are really becoming a lot more connective. As Jeff was saying, the American Airlines Center will soon connect all the way to here. And these are elements that give Dallas that desperately needed outdoor activity space. Now, we've got the White Rock Lake, but we need to have places where we can go on walks, walk our pets, do long bike rides. And these are creating these spaces that can really get onto like a 2-hour bike ride if you needed it.
Absolutely. The ride from probably this home to North Haven Trail is probably about a 10-minute ride. And then you can take that and ride all the way down and around White Rock and back. And it's a 2.5 hour ride, but it's a fun ride. And
there's cement, and there's a yellow line that separates each direction, and they're pretty wide. 2 bicyclists could ride side by side, correct?
Yes.
You're on it all the time. Okay, so it's a great space. It's not junky. It's not, cross country. It is easy for any level to get on.
And right down the street from this is the newly renovated Hillcrest High School. The citizens that live in DISD voted a couple of years ago with their bond package, and part of that bond package has been renovation of many of the high schools. One of the things that I also wanted to note is that this week is the National School Choice Week. DISD has gone the route that many school districts have gone, where they allow you to go in and apply to go to a different school that is that you're not zoned into. There are magnet schools, there are specialty schools. Any of those, the International Baccalaureate program that DISD has is amazing. So you have the opportunity to now kind of pick and choose where you want to go.
That's amazing. And one of the things too, Love Field is probably 10 to 15 minutes away, just depending on traffic. And don't forget, it is also an international airport. So getting to Mexico from here, whether it's Cancun, Tulum, Puerto Vallarta, or Oaxaca, it's super simple.
It really is. People forget about that international connection that we now have out of Love Field. So
international.
It is. if you want to have a really great restaurant experience in the area, there's a new restaurant that is open not far from this home that's called Walkstar. And Walkstar is, I've been there 3 or 4 times. I went there like one of the first opening days with my friend Mike, and the owner or manager of the restaurant was having some of their specialty dishes made and just bringing them around, you know, to different tables and sharing them. Soup dumplings are out of this world good.
Portions are great, and I'm not going to say that they heavy pour, but they're not skimpy on the pours. So definitely check this out. Think about this. You can split this entree. They are that good.
Yeah.
And they are that big.
They are that big. Entertainment, you've got Studio Movie Grill not far from there. Studio Movie Grill is really trying to make their comeback. I've been to a couple of movies there kind of just in the last several months. They are doing a really good job in trying to recreate that movie-going experience for people.
Well, good for them. Well, let's just jump into this house and talk about it now.
Okay.
So this is going to be 6918 Waggoner Drive. And this house is amazing. It is on a cul-de-sac, and that cul-de-sac really gives you a little deeper setback, gives you a little bit more space, and this comes in at 0.349 of an acre.
So this home was taken to the studs in this remodel. New sheetrock throughout. The electrical lines have been replaced. Plumbing pipes, mechanical ducts throughout. New plumbing, light fixtures. And it really shows.
Yes. Now, if you are someone who there are many people that still live at home with you, or if you are an avid entertainer, you need to check this home out. So they have set up a dedicated space for the dining room, which is really great. And it modestly showed that it seats 8. It could easily seat 10. And then it transitions into this wonderful vaulted ceiling family room. And so many houses these days need this vaulted family room. And one of the great things about this, just one of them, is how much light that it gets. And another great thing is that it pitches to the kitchen. This open concept right here is wonderful. We see that so many more of today's buyers are interested in having this house that can play itself out. Everyone can be together, but yet still everyone has their own space.
And it has that very popular floor plan of kitchen that opens to the living room into the dining room. You've got bar seating there, which just, you know, makes all the sense in the world. You have enough room between this living room and the den. If you wanted to have another table in there, you certainly could do that and have even another eating area.
Yep. And that stove means business. It has a small and a large oven, and you can see here how we're looking at it from the other direction. This is actually more from the utility room, and you get a really great idea of how much space there is. If you see on the right hand side, we've got this space right here. You have another little small eating area. So this is more for a game table, because you've got the fireplace with the pass-through. This is actually the second fireplace, and you come around and this is your smaller area. So this could really be transformed into an office if you want it to be that way. It just has a lot of versatility, and it backs up to this media room. This media room was great. Vaulted ceilings, no windows. Everything is set up to house the mechanics and make it really super simple.
Now, we're going to show you several of the bathrooms in this home, because there were some of the rooms, the bedrooms that weren't ready, but the detail that this designer used on this, from the mirrors, the light fixtures, the size of the tile, is all so appropriate for the size of the rooms and just melds these rooms together well.
And it's not like one of those interior designers that try to do gymnastics and throw everything at the wall. It is perfectly balanced. It works with itself. And it's a perfect backdrop, because all of the heavy lifting, as Jeff was saying earlier, elements like a new 3 and a new 5-ton AC unit have been installed. It's just a really well-rounded house.
Generous master bedroom here. You can see that's a king-size bed. You've still got room for big nightstands. You've got the double door access out to this just enormous patio area. You're really just steps away from the hot tub.
And so now we're going to transition again. Great job on this walk-in shower that you see here. 2 new Naveen tankless hot water heaters, which really kind of help everything out here. And you have all new windows as well throughout this home. This is a great house that has been styled well. And as we like to say, the heavy lifting has been done.
Outdoor space on this is incredible, because you've got this really big open patio space, lots of flexibility in how you can situate furniture. This was an incredible touch. where you've got this covered walkway that goes from one side of the house to the other. And talk about the hot tub.
And it's covering the hot tub, so you get to use it all year round. This is going to be a little entrance, so you've got space there for a boat or an RV, a dog park. It's a 2-car garage, but it's also got 2-car workspace as well.
So 6918 Waggoner Drive. It's a 4-bedroom, 4.5 bath, 2-car garage built in 1972. It's about 4,300 square feet, and it's priced at $1,738,000, which is just under $400 a square foot. Really super great deal. And if you'd like to see more information about the home, click on the links below. There'll be other pictures that we didn't get to show today. If you'd like to take a look at the home, reach out to us. We would be happy to make that happen. We'd like to say thank you to Fraud Sandler for letting us talk about our home today. And with that, we'll be right back. There are lots of ways to keep up with us. Visit and like our Facebook page to watch us live and get updates about future show topics. Also, visit our Instagram account where you can see the latest homes we have for sale. You can also check out our website at updikepugh.com, where you can create customized searches of active and sold homes that you may find of interest. If you'd like to know how much your home is worth, visit homeprice.fyi and you can get a price instantly. Just enter your address and a couple of other pieces of information and we will email you a price. If you are on the go and podcasts are better for you, our second segments are available on iTunes and Spotify. Last of all, you can reach out to us by phone or text at 214-377-2223. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the second segment, episode 164, Sold with Updike Pugh.
And we have a great second segment today. It is called Out and About in Today's Market. And this was an interesting thing. We wanted to take and look kind of like we talk about sales, we talk about winterizing your home, but we want to take and look a little bit higher from a 30,000 foot view. And best way to do that is to do some research online and pick up articles that we think could create a really interesting thing. And that's kind of what we did today.
One of the great things about working for the company we do is we have our leader, Chris Kelly, President and CEO, who has the opportunity to interact with all of these other people in the marketplace. And he was one of the speakers at the North Dallas Chamber of Commerce annual real estate get-together.
That happened last Friday.
It happened last Friday, yeah.
And it was a really great thing. And the reason why this article was selected is because it was in the Dallas Business Journal, is that it brought up a new element that we've heard it talked about, but now it's in writing. And so it's interesting because we're going to talk about it happened twice in the last week. They go on to talk about how currently there's a big divide between availability and affordability, and that as new homes and pre-owned homes get closer and closer to pricing, it's not making the pre-owned market that much more attractive. But then they don't have as many new homes to sell. And so there's this issue that's starting to bubble.
Yes. In 2019, I think there were 35,000 new home starts in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Yep.
And then in 2020, I think we had 52,000-ish.
Correct.
So you can see that the building is starting to try to pick up that delta, but it's still not doing it yet.
And so in the article, Hillwood Communities has decided that they're going to try to help alleviate some of this pressure that's in the market right now. And they're creating communities, and they are diverse communities in the exurbs that have an element to them that are 100% leased. So a homeowner is actually able to find out if that neighborhood, if that area works for them before they make a commitment to it.
And, many times the people, we talk about exurbs because the suburban market here is really pretty much landlocked.
It is.
We have nowhere to go but to go north to Salina or go east to Forney. And, we really don't have much room to go west. We have room to go south down into the southern parts of the city and start development there. But a lot of times people are making a big move when they do that, and they don't know that that's really, is it where they're going to be happy a year from now? So it makes sense for them to buy something right away.
Well, is that commute going to be okay?
Absolutely.
Is 45 minutes in the car one way going to work? That's very interesting. And so one of the things that made this even a little more interesting is that Steve Brown also wrote an article, and it was a Minnesota developer that is also going to be doing the exact same thing for a rental community in Salina. And so I thought, well, there's 2 of them. And so we're going to show those in the links and the comments for you to be able to click on and read. But it is definitely, I think, something that we're going to keep our eye on.
It really is. And I think it is going to be just another feature of the market that is going to be out there when we do have people that relocate here and don't want to go into an apartment.
Correct.
They know that single family home market is very, very tight on a rental basis. These will be good. They'll be good stopping points for them before they buy a home here.
That'd be good carryover. So that's a great 2 articles for you to check out. And then what's the second one, Jeff?
The second point we wanted to talk about was something that's very near and dear to your heart. And it is that, as many of you know, Weston owned a condominium at Preston Place Condos on Northwest Highway. And almost 5 years ago to the day, it burned to the ground.
To the ground.
And they have finally just closed on that on Friday of last week and sold it to a developer.
Yeah.
And everybody's free to move on now. So
you are free to move about the country. So Candy's Dirt is a really interesting story. Candy's Dirt is actually the one who first picked this up. And the reason is because one of the gentlemen that actually lives in the Athena actually saw this burning and took pictures and live blogged at 2:30 in the morning. And it's so funny. Real quick, I got a text, multiple texts, but one of them was from our assistant at the time, Kyle. And Kyle said, "Are you okay? Your building seems to be on fire." So I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm not there because it was filthy because it just finished remodeling. And I thought there is no way. And I Googled Preston Place fire. And boom, Candy's Dirt is covering it. If you go back to that top picture right there, you can see that the building in the center, which is the brightest, there's a tree down there on the kind of the right side of that. That is where my unit is. And when I walked up that morning to see my unit, that ladder that is there extended had lowered and changed, and they were blasting the hose jet into my living room. And I thought, well, isn't that just one way to go? So thank you everybody for all of your support and love. It was a tough time, but as you can see, we've made it through it. Hanover has bought that. Hanover is also is the developer on 1900 McKinney and also on the Cirque in Victory Park. Does amazing luxury units, and it looks like this is slated for about 200 units. They will be amazing. They've done deep dives and realized they need a little more access, a little more storm coverage, and they also need some green space, and they are going to address that, and it is going to make this portion of Dallas even that much better.
That much better.
That much better.
And the last point we want to talk about is Dallas home prices, and there's another story in the Dallas Morning News that talks about the home cost hikes in Dallas and other U.S. metro areas, and how there's no one seeing something in the market that can be causing this to adjust at any point. I think interest rates going up will cause home sales to slow, but even if they go up a point in interest rate, let's say they go to 5%. Oh my gosh, that's I started
sky is falling.
Yeah, I started selling real estate, and interest rates were 12%. So, when it went under 10, we were like screaming for joy. So,
right.
5% is nothing.
Definitely click on this one. This one is very interesting. The data that they got came from the most recent S&P CoreLogic Case Schillinger Home Price Index. It's a mouthful, but it is the bar at which most things are measured against. One of the things in reading this article that I thought was really interesting is that they commented about how the millennials that are coming into age to buy a home are going to be a factor. And I thought, we've got headquarters moving here. We've got great interest rates. We're central time zone. We've got 2 international airports.
Lots of people that could work remotely now.
And now, exactly. And now we've got the millennials that are moving into their prime time buying. So it's interesting for Dallas. That is for sure.
Hold on. Just hold on. So, thanks for joining us today. We really hope that you got something from this. If there is any information you'd like for us to share, just reach out to us. We would be happy to talk about it.
And just remember, we want to be realtors for life.